The Banowetz Podcast.
Welcome back to the Banowetz Marketing Podcast. We're glad you're here. I'm Sarah Banowetz, and today our special guest is Justin Buck. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for being on the podcast. So, Justin, you're from Urban. You're the owner of Urban Pie.
Yes. Well, one of three owners.
One of three owners. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah, I have
Perfect.
three partners. I'm the operations owner. I
Okay.
do all the legwork.
Fun. And there's two locations, right? Marion and Cedar Falls.
Correct.
Awesome. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am 39, going on 40 next month.
Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you. I have been in the hospitality industry most of my life, with Bermuda companies in Cedar Falls, Waterloo. That's where I started, 18 years old, working for that hospitality company. And then I was 30, and I moved down to Phoenix in that area and started working for the University of Phoenix. I got out of the industry altogether and chose a different personal route, and then ended up back in Cedar Falls to get back in hospitality. Currently have a fiance in Cedar Falls and a 9-month little boy, Jet.
Oh,
So,
congratulations. So you live in Cedar Rapids, and then you travel to Marion, to the Marion location.
No, I live in Cedar Falls.
Cedar Falls.
Yes.
Sorry. Did
Yeah.
I say Cedar Rapids?
Yeah.
In my head, I was thinking Cedar Falls, and I said Cedar Rapids. Sorry.
Cedar Falls.
Cedar Falls,
Yes.
and then you travel to the Marion location a
Yeah.
few times a week.
Yeah, and when I first opened the Marion location, I lived here for the first 10 months
Okay.
to get it up and
How did you guys? So Cedar Falls was first.
Yes,
Correct.
in
How did you guys
2017.
decided to 2017?
Yes.
And then when the Marion location must have opened pretty shortly after that, right?
November of 2000. So Valentine's Day 2017, we opened Cedar Falls.
Okay.
And then November 1st, 2017, we opened Marion.
Okay.
So it went very quick
Yes.
the first year.
Because I feel like you have been around for a while.
Yeah,
You guys are one of my
just over
favorite
2
places
years.
to eat. So
Yeah. Yeah, we've been around, it seems like longer in some instances, but it's been a really quick 3 years for me. I guess it's just over 2 in Marion, and it'll coming up next month. It'll be 3 years in Cedar Falls.
now
So,
you have a stone oven in Marion. Do you also in
same
Cedar
oven.
Falls?
Yeah,
Okay.
both places. It's actually what would be considered a most people know as a brick oven.
Okay.
A lot of ovens like that do a wood fire. We actually do a gas fire.
Okay.
It's a more even cooking. It's easier to regulate your temperature, but we have on occasions cooked with wood in the ovens too. They double that way. But as far as I know, in Iowa, I haven't seen anybody with the same ovens that we have. We got them out of New York. They were handmade in Italy. So that was their selling point. Get
Very
a
cool.
true Italian oven when we got it.
Very cool. And you guys also do the wings.
Yes,
Which are
wings.
delicious.
Yep, they're smoked wing.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are from an Iowa-based company.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know all your sauces?
Yeah. All my wing sauces?
Yeah, all your wing
yeah,
sauces.
Of course.
Okay.
You got sweet chili.
Okay.
You got buffalo, garlic parmesan, mango habanero, barbecue, spicy barbecue, sriracha, and that's it for just your wing sauces.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our ranch is really, we make it in-house.
Do you?
Yeah. Same thing with our dough. Everything that we do, our dough's handmade in-house. So we don't buy any frozen materials like that to make our dough. They're not pre-made, pre-parred. There's only 4 ingredients in the dough, so it's a pretty clean recipe.
And you have some unique recipes for your pizza.
Yep. Our custom ones. I try to be creative as I can with them. Some of them have been on the menu since day one. Some of them are more recent. We try to change up the menu about I would say at this point I've been doing it about every 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
Adding or taking away. The one that's been on the menu the longest, or the original one I think is our most popular, is the Meat Mountain.
Okay.
Just basically a meat lover's pizza.
Okay.
But currently, our most popular and our newest on the menu is a crab rangoon.
Oh,
Crab rangoon
nice.
pizza. Yeah.
Good.
Which has some of the wing sauce with sweet chili sauce on
Yeah.
it with wontons. I don't know what it is about Iowans. They love different pizzas. If our traditional, we call it the traditional Iowa taco for our taco pizza, which is probably number 2. So you got your Meat Mountain taco pizza and crab rangoon, but
I'm really excited to hear that you have the crab rangoon.
Oh, you haven't had it?
No, I haven't had it yet. Our favorite one, is it called the farm? I'm going by
the Farm Boy.
The Farm Boy, yeah. And that's the one with corn,
onion, pulled pork, and barbecue sauce.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one.
And that's sweet Baby Ray's barbecue that we use.
Yeah, that one is the one that I will crave. And my husband tells me I can't. I'm always like, can we order urban pie? And he's like, not again.
Yeah. Oh, of course again. Yes, as much as you want. We have subs, we have salads.
I know. Like, yeah, he's watching the checkbook and I'm watching my stomach. So.
Well, on Mondays you get 2-for-1 pizza, so.
There we go. I did not know that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I did not know that. Yeah. We will be ordering a lot more on Mondays then.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what is one of your favorite things about owning Urban Pie?
I love the fact that I'm my own boss, for one. Everybody, I guess the customer's really my boss. They dictate what I do and what I don't do on a daily basis. But it's nice to know that you can be creative with what you do and what you love. I've always been really good with recipes and cooking and just coming up with creative ideas. It's something that it's fun to do for me. It's fun to interact with people and hear, oh, you're doing a great job, or we love your place. It's a little bit more when you do something well and when you have success. I think it's more gratifying.
Yeah.
But I've been in the corporate world and had a job with a large company and worked for myself. So definitely you get more gratitude. It's more rewarding.
Well, you guys have a good reputation with the community too.
Well, that's good to hear.
So in Marion, you're right off of 7th Avenue.
Yes.
Right across the street from the square.
Yep, right in the Uptown District.
Where are you at in Cedar Falls?
Cedar Falls, we're in the downtown district of Cedar Falls, the historical downtown district. There's a lot of new development. We're in the newer developed area, but downtown Cedar Falls is a pretty large, for a downtown area in the state of Iowa anyways, I would say, pretty large district. There's a lot of foot traffic down there, which we enjoy, like to take advantage of.
Yeah. It's
a little bit more traveled than the Marion.
Well, and speaking of foot traffic, you guys are looking at starting to do lunchtime slices. Is that right?
I've played around with large pizzas.
Okay.
We traditionally, our traditional pizzas are a 10-inch pizza that is really an individual style. You can do one of our custom pizzas, or you can design anything that you want, any way that you want to design it. It's a 10-inch pizza. It's usually one person will eat it, or you can split one with 2 people if you get wings, like you like, or salad, or anything like that. But for catering purposes, just being able to get pizzas to parties and to groups and things like that. We started experimenting with large 14-inch pizzas, and being that we're able to cook our pizzas in about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. That's just the oven time. Obviously, it takes us a couple minutes to put it together and get it through about 5 minutes. People are always on the go for lunch, and it gives you, with the warmer and doing slices of pizza, you're able to walk in, grab a slice, turn around, walk out. Which, the convenience stations, the gas stations have those.
Yeah.
the pizza by a slice, but I'd like to think that our slices are a little bit higher quality.
That's the truth.
For the same price, really, we're doing slices for $3. Yeah. So
that's really good. And then you also do catering, right?
Yeah, we cater large groups, parties, businesses, lunches, dinners. Really, we try to be as broad as we can in catering, and pizza's an easy thing to cater. It's pizza. Salads. We do toasted subs now as well too. It's something I guess I didn't mention. Wings. Anything on our menu really travels well. Mm-hmm. So it's, especially when you get groups, pizza. Everybody, who doesn't like pizza? So it's an easy one. We have obviously a lot of competition there, but like I said, no extra charges or anything like that for us to cater events and things like that. like when we have large parties, we have areas within both of our restaurants where there's areas for large groups. And a lot of restaurants or businesses will charge groups a fee just to come to the restaurant or use their facilities, and that's something that we don't do. We always give that space for free to people, just because if you're choosing us as a business to, have your event or your function, we know that you're going to come and spend some money. It's not like you're going to come sit there and not partake in what we have to offer you. And we like to say, hey, you want to use us? We want to make it easy for you and not gouge you on the pricing type of thing.
Well, and your location the interior is beautiful. I mean, the outside too, but the interior is beautiful. It would be nice to have a party there too. And you have a nice large bar, at least in the Marion location.
Yeah, we do in both locations.
Okay.
And Marion, obviously, it's a Iowa historical building.
Yes.
So there's a lot of original flooring and walls within the building, but it's obviously updated from when we moved in. We have two separate sides in our Marion location.
Yes.
We kind of have like the dining room side or the bar side. So it makes it easy to separate your group from one side or the other and just focus on.
And it makes
your
it
event.
Quieter too, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Because you're separating the room in half, and so you have less people in each half. And
it can get loud though when there's
it's big. There's still big rooms.
Well, that's going to happen in any restaurant when everybody's
yeah.
trying to talk.
It's not
over
like
one.
quiet, but it's just quieter than you would
Yeah,
expect.
well, and you can be secluded for your group too.
Yeah.
You can be away from.
Because you have that back area too, where you can have a big group table. And stuff,
you can. It's not a huge area for that way back room, but if you have a small group, 8 people, it works pretty well.
I will say the way that my husband and I order is, even though we could split one pizza, we always order 2 because you have so much options on the menu. The pizzas are so creative, so neither one of us can just decide. Anywhere else, we'll order like a pepperoni or a cheese.
And you don't want to share.
Well, no, we will share. So he usually...
so you get a big selection.
So we will. So we'll order 2 pizzas and wings, and then obviously we have leftovers too, which is always good.
Yeah.
But we can't just decide on one of your pizzas because they're too creative.
I have a lot of customers that do it for the opposite reason what you do. My fiance came home the other day, and she's like, she works for an insurance company, and she came home. She goes, one of my clients said that they're going to Cedar Falls and that Urban Pie is their favorite restaurant, and they were driving from Eldora, Iowa, so about an hour drive just to come have pizza, and they didn't know that she was with me, the owner, and she's like, well, she asked, like, why do you like it? And they're like, he goes, I love going there because I don't have to share with my wife.
Yeah.
I get to make whatever pizza I want, and she can do whatever she wants, and I get my own pizza. So once she let him know that, and she gave him some coupons, but
that's nice.
But that's I hear that a lot is we don't have to share. I can get whatever I want. So, but we also get, like you and your husband do, groups of people that'll order a whole selection of pizza, and because they're 10 inches, you can slide them around. Everybody can try one too.
Well, that's just it.
It's creative. It's whatever you want to do.
Well, you would have a hard time because your pizzas are so creative. If you did larger ones and not the smaller ones at all, I mean, do larger ones, but then not having the 10 inches, then we would have to choose one, and we don't have to choose one. We can get 2.
And it's really nice for families with children too, because I would say our number one base of clients is probably families, which is probably pretty common with pizza places, but the kids always want one topping, pepperoni or cheese. Yeah. So it's easy to give the kids their own 10-inch, and if you get that large, then you're going to have to divide it up into different slices or portions, things of that nature. Yeah. But it's a convenience factor. It's a creativity factor. I think that's one of the uniquenesses that we have over a lot of different pizza places. Yeah, you can always make your own, but it's really more you get that personal style, that sense of this is my pizza, and I don't have to share.
Yeah. So Justin, do you have any since we're a marketing agency, we like to ask if you have any marketing questions that you would want to ask us to give it any kind of free value to you.
Yes. As far as a marketing company, being in the business, I had my fair share of companies approach me and talk to me about opportunities and what I would like to see in marketing. For a marketing company, I'd really like to know how you direct your customers or clients or potential clients and kind of direct them as to what you can offer them or how you can take their business and help them grow and direct me rather than me telling you what I need, because I'm not the marketeer.
Yeah.
I'm the restaurant operator.
Yeah.
So
you've got enough on your plate to have to worry about the...
I make good food.
Yeah.
I have a good staff. But if I was the marketing expert, I would not need a marketing company or look for marketing options. So really, as a marketing person, how do you help the customer understand or direct them to help grow their business?
Well, and that question is really not, it's not unique. It's actually how Banowetz marketing started. And I was, I'm glad that you asked this question because I grew up in entrepreneurship. So my parents own Warehouse Auto Company, and they started it from scratch when I was 9. And then I've had marketing skills. So I grew up in the business and then grew up with marketing for Warehouse Auto. Their current tagline right now I came up with, which is enjoy car shopping. And so I was working in-house for them for a long time. And then I started traveling a bunch to Ethiopia. And so we actually went out to find a marketing department so that I could step back. And we were really frustrated because we'd interview marketing companies and we'd do like different, and ask them to do different pieces for us. Well, there was 2 frustrations. Frustration number 1 was the same type of thing. They just want to be told what to do. Frustration number 2 is just what I would describe as entrepreneurial hustle not being an existent. And I don't blame the marketing agencies themselves because it's just not the way that they were built. So if you think about it 20 or 30 years ago, marketing agencies really sold media. So they would sell like TV, radio, and everything like that. Society has changed so much, but the marketing agencies themselves haven't changed very much. And we don't need to sell media as much now. We still do. Like this, older media still works. It's still when you can get it cheap enough. So I'm trying not to like bash agencies or old media. I'm trying not to do that. But what I am saying is that as someone who understands entrepreneurship and the way that society is changing, what you really need is entrepreneurial hustle that helps fight for the company that you're working for. And that just didn't exist in an agency world. And so when I've traveled to Ethiopia 4 times and I come back here and I was ready to actually just start running Warehouse Auto. And I asked my dad, are you ready to retire? And he wasn't ready to retire.
I'm going to work forever.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, we started Banowetz Marketing where Warehouse Auto was our first client. And taking that entrepreneurial hustle, and we've used that to help with help Warehouse Auto, and then that model that we started making there. I had been a professional photographer too, so I already had an LLC. So we just changed the name of the LLC. Didn't need to, but we did. And then have the DBA as Banowetz Marketing, and started providing that entrepreneurial hustle from someone who understands it from the business owner's side. And so then directly to answer your question, it's a matter of you're right. That you as a business owner shouldn't have to tell me what to do because I'm the one that's supposed to be the professional in the industry. It would be like if I came to you and like you wanted me to like just cook pizza, like you wanted me to cook my own pizza or whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. It's like, wait a second, isn't that your job?
My fiance took me to a restaurant once where it was a cook your own steak restaurant.
Yes.
I'm like, I work all day cooking for myself. She thought it'd be fun. I'm like, I want to go to a restaurant so somebody cooks for me. Exactly. But so yeah, the whole marketing. I want to go to a marketing company who markets for me. I'm
going to talk now as Sarah Banowetz and not as necessarily as Banowetz Marketing. So whether you hire, because what I'm about to say fits with Banowetz marketing.
Okay.
But whether you hire Banowetz marketing or not, in any, because people around the country could be hearing this too, which you could still hire us. But regardless of whether you hire Banowetz marketing or not, here's what you need to look for in an agency, in my opinion. And I think that it's starting to change in this direction, but it's not there yet. But this is what you can ask for too, which is essentially what you want is you want a marketing department headed by a marketing director that you can hire on a contractor basis. So you want a marketing department that you can hire on a contractor basis. You don't want an agency that's just going to sell you ads. Because right now, with the way things are, it used to be that you could buy so many ads in print or radio, TV, and that would, and you can, yeah. But that would push your company forward. Mm-hmm. The amount of money you could put into those ads was directly related to the output. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily that way, and it really isn't that way anymore. It's a lot of free marketing, but we don't know how to do it. Mm-hmm. So social media, for example, you don't have to spend money on Facebook ads, but you do have to put out strong creative. You have to talk to your customer a lot. And so it's either going to take time. Marketing today, it takes time or money. Mm-hmm. It's going to take money because it takes time, not because you're necessarily paying an advertising company, but because if you're not the one interacting with your customers on social media, you need to hire someone to interact with your customers on social media. Mm-hmm. And that takes money then. So instead of spending it necessarily on ads, you're spending it on personnel. Mm-hmm. And so really that's where marketing agencies are going to have to change, because they have to go from the ad-based to the hustle-based, personnel-based, creative-based, mm-hmm. because where before you could put out one commercial, you now need to put out a ton of short-form content, a ton of videos, just a lot of creative, mm-hmm. which then makes it's a great opportunity now for the artist, because, growing up, you don't want to be an artist, you're going to be a starving artist. But in today's world, businesses need artists now, and they need them in hordes of people. They need hordes of artists. Mm-hmm. And so this is a perfect opportunity for creatives to stand up and help businesses grow, because that's what businesses need right now. So to answer your question, to answer your question is, you're right. It needs to be, but it's the mindset, it's the framework. If you hire someone who is just like, well, I'm just going to do this one thing for you, and they're not looking at your entire, like everything that you're doing, because it all goes together. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to find too, because that's why I'm not a consultant, because it's hard to find the people to implement the work that you have ideas for.
And it's hard to see results sometimes. Yeah. It's there's going to be results. It's not always easy to see the results that you're getting. You might get a ton of views on Facebook posts and things of that nature, but it doesn't necessarily dictate the amount of business that you're bringing through. Yeah. There's, especially in my opinion, with today's society, people are liking things they see on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok now. They're seeing things, they're liking it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's generating any business for you other than awareness. So
then what you want to do with that is you want the things that you put out there that are just, have you heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Gary Vaynerchuk talks about with this, like the right hook and the jab, 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 and right hook. So when you're putting out things that just generate likes, but they're not really geared to generating sales, just like, let's say you update the pizza oven and something or other, and you take a picture of that and you put that on there, and that's just your jab, jab, jab. That's just, or asking questions. Edith Lucille's. Do you know who that company is? They're a restaurant in Cedar Rapids, Edith Lucille.
I'm not familiar with them.
They do really well with engagement on their face. I don't have anything to do with them, but they do really well with their engagement, with their likes, because they're putting out things that are just like that jab, jab, jab. It's not necessarily that right hook of, we're going to make a sale right now. But what happens is you want to feed Facebook and Instagram. You want to feed the algorithms. So the more jabs that don't necessarily produce fruit right now are making your page so that it's so they're more like Facebook
building
is more
followers.
and it's more likely to share. So if you want engaged customers. You don't want to do like a likes campaign where you get a bunch of likes. I personally, as a marketer, do not care how many likes you have on a page, as long as there's enough likes to put authority behind your name. Like if you had only 10 likes on your Facebook page, I'd be like, well, you got to do something there because it shows that you don't have authority. But I don't care if you have 600. I don't care if you have 2,000. I don't care if you have 100,000. What I care about is, are those likes, do they actually like you? Are they actually, because if you have 10,000, just generally speaking, if a page will have 10,000 likes on the page, but then they post out one like jab that's not, it's not a right hook, it's just a jab, but it only gets 10 likes, then what does that say to me? That says to me that those were bot likes, that they're people who are not engaged, they don't care, and Facebook knows that, the algorithm knows that. So what you want is, you want to have real likes on your page. You want to put out content that even if it doesn't produce sale, it feeds that Facebook algorithm machine, so that, yeah, you might be posting all week just that jab, 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 like, hey, we're here. And then 2 weeks later, when Facebook knows that your page is popular, that it's fed the Facebook algorithm, that you have engaged users, then when you do post, we're doing a sale right now, or we have this new product right now, all of a sudden that's the right hook, and you've helped feed the system. Versus if you didn't do all of those jabs, then as soon as you put out that jab, it's ignored.
Okay.
Relatively speaking.
Makes sense.
So that's why you don't necessarily, and also June Schmidt works for us in business leadership. Her husband is Bob Schmidt, who was the owner-operator of the Chick-fil-A brand in this area around here. And he had a really great comment. He's like, marketing is like watching water boil. So it's not sales. Marketing and sales go hand in hand. Marketing is really about your branding and about your voice and communication. And it's not a microwave. It's watching it boils. So you want to see bubbles. So as long as you're seeing bubbles and it keeps getting hotter and stuff, you're on the right track. So you want a marketing analogy. Yeah, you want a marketing company that's going to help heat up your water to go on the right track. And if you don't see any bubbles or anything like that, then that's where it's a little leery. Some people also say my Facebook ads don't work. So I'm not going to do Facebook. That's false. Don't like anything. You haven't said that, but I know someone earlier today here, we had a guest on earlier. They mentioned that too. That's the worst thing, is if you think it didn't work, try something else, because it's Facebook and Google does work for advertising. It is the best way to get your word out there in paid advertising right now, in my opinion. Once again, sorry to all the people who sell TV and radio. It also depends on your demographic too.
Depends on what kind of content too, I think, probably.
Yeah. And you're going to spend less if you have good content.
Yeah. And well, if you're trying to give a service, give something, people are probably Googling what they want.
Yeah.
And Facebook, Instagram,
yes,
social media.
It's push out versus pull in.
Yeah. So kind of knowing and understanding maybe what line I should use Google for, what line I should use social media for, that type of that type of stuff too.
And that's where it really helps that it's why I started Banowetz Marketing. Companies need a marketing director to tell them what to do. And but a lot of my favorite people to work with are family-owned companies and independently owned companies, and they can't afford a full-time marketing director. And then once you have the marketing director, we got to get creative made. So where's the photographer? Where's the graphic designer? Where's the audio producer? And so that's actually ended up, and that's how we built this company, is so that companies can hire that. And it's a unique business. It's a one-stop shop. And if we can't do it in-house, we can figure out how to get it done. So we just do basic websites because I don't really love websites. So we'll do basic. I can get in there and edit. We do WordPress websites, so I can get there and edit if it's already been done. But if any company needs like a powerful website, like a car dealership needs something that's more powerful, that helps with the CRM integrated in with the website, then we get in touch with the companies that can do that. But again, it's because that's my job. My job as the marketing director to figure out what it is and to figure out what the goals and pain points are of the businesses I'm working with, and then help solve those problems.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a lot of info.
Just hosed you with a lot, yeah. Well, okay, so back to Urban Pie. Okay. How do people find you? So website, would I assume urbanpie.com?
Urbanpieup.com.
Okay.
So there are initials, urbanpieup.com. And then Facebook, it's urbanpieup
too.
And Instagram, we have 2 accounts, one for Cedar Falls, one for Marion, which Urban Pie Cedar Falls, Urban Pie Marion. But you can always find us on Uptown Marion or downtown Cedar Falls. You can walk in and have pizza too.
Perfect. And then for catering, just call the phone number. Is that the best way to do it?
Contact at urbanpiecf.com.
Okay.
CF is in Cedar Falls. You can email me, just attention to Justin, and I'll get you any information, set up any catering, any specials we have for you, how we can work with you, whatever event it's going to be, things like that. And I have done a couple weddings, believe it or not, for
Very cool.
people that have done pizza. So you'd be surprised at the people that want to do pizza for certain events. But fundraising too, it's something that we've been big in pushing, especially you get a lot of competitive sports teams for the youth that have to pay a lot of money to go to these tournaments and travel and things like that. So we do give back nights where the team can actually come in and help the servers out with bussing the tables, things like that. And we do give a portion of our sales back to the team so they can put it towards their tournaments. We do that for really anybody's cause too. We did Knox Blocks the other week, and are you familiar with Knox Blocks?
I've heard of it. Why can I not pull it up?
It's basically they try to get outlets for infants, for babies, into homes that people can't afford them. Really, it's a foundation to try to help children's people, babies. I'm not now that knowledgeable, so I'm not going to give you details, but it's things like that. People with cancer, helping families out. We try to do as many local charities and events and fundraising campaigns with these businesses or just individuals. Whatever we can do to help, and because we're a local business, like you said, we're a small town, not small. I guess Cedar Rapids isn't so small town, Iowa, but it's that feel with Marion and Cedar Falls and having local community, which we try to be involved as much as we can. So that's why we try to help out any organization we can and do whatever we can do to kind of help them reach their goals and get what they need.
That's very cool. Your location, too, is perfect for that community with all the square events that happen. The events in the square and stuff,
Yeah. Same thing with Cedar Falls. There's a lot of downtown traffic and there's the parks and events. So yeah, we try to stay as known. We try to be a part of this community as much as possible.
Perfect. Well, thank you for being on the podcast, Justin.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And for everybody else, thanks for watching in. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you see this. And if you want any help with your marketing, feel free to visit banowetzmarketing.com. And we will see you later. Thanks. Bye.